I've recently managed to find an album that I've been looking for a long time. It's the first edition of Elvis's first Japanese album. So I thought it would be a good idea to compare that one with the first British album and the first American album. Believe it or not, there are only two songs common to all three albums, so you might want to think about what they are as we go through this. Also, as you will know if you've seen enough of my videos, somewhere on Japanese covers they usually have the lyrics to the songs in English. And there's something very strange going on with the lyrics to one of the songs on the back cover of the first album, which we'll look at later. Now I know that some of you watching these videos know a lot about 50s music in general, so I'm kind of hoping that somebody out there will be able to help me out with these lyrics, tell me what's going on. I don't have an American original from 1956, but I do have a very nice mono copy from about 1964, I think this one came out. And it's still got the shrink on it, and it's still got its original price sticker, $2.98 is that. Normally an album cover still having its shrink would be a good thing, but in this case it's not, as you'll see if we look on the back. There's a big stain there across the back there, and what's happened at some point is somebody has decided to put sellotape over the top of a tear in the shrink wrap, and the tape's fallen off over the years, as it tends to do, but it's also left behind this brown stain. Otherwise this cover's pretty much perfect. So you know the songs that are on this album. It's a mix of new RCA songs and old Sun recordings. There's the Inner Sleeve. Kissing Cousins is the latest album on there, so I think that sort of dates it about 1964. That's a really nice copy. I love the label design of this particular period. I think the records were still well made as well at this point. You do kind of get the feeling that you're holding a quality record. The stamper numbers are quite high on this one. I think it's got 12S on side 2 and 20S on side 1, but it still sounds really good to me. That one came out in March 1956 originally. It didn't come out in the UK until October the same year, and it was on a different label, on the HMV, or His Master's Voice label. The front cover is basically the same. I think they sort of straightened the picture. What I mean by that is they turned the picture at an angle, so Elvis's face is facing in a straight line from top to bottom. It's sort of more like that on the American cover. And they also changed the title to Rock and Roll. The back cover is different as well. The sleeve notes are different, and there's no photographs there. They call it Rock and Roll, so in order to make it more of a rock and roll album, they took some of the slower songs off, quite a few actually. So it doesn't have Just Because, I Love You Because, I'll Never Let You Go, Blue Moon, and for some reason it doesn't have Tutti Frutti on either. And they replaced those songs with I'm Left, You're Right, She's Gone, That's Alright, Mystery Train, Lordy Miss Claudie, and Shake, Rattle and Roll. So a bit more of a rock and roll vibe to it. Here is the label. It's quite a nice copy. I think I got this one from a seller in somewhere in Europe. It might have been Italy. These old UK albums from the 50s are really hard to find in anything like half decent condition, because the sleeves are quite flimsy, so they usually turn up torn, with sellotape on them or writing on them or whatnot. So that was the UK album. So you notice that the two albums have got different titles, and in Japan it also had a different title. Not only that, but it was a 10-inch LP, and I'll show you the first cover. So here it is, the first Japanese Elvis Presley album of all time, 10-inch LP. On the labels it says the title is Elvis Presley, but in Japanese on the back there it tells you it's called Elvis Presley Style. So because it's a 10-inch LP, there are fewer songs on it, only 8 songs on here. That's the first side, and that's the second side. I never thought I'd be able to get hold of a copy in such immaculate condition. So there are only 8 songs on here, and they decided to include Heartbreak Hotel, I Was the One, and I Forgot to Remember to Forget. And there are some songs that are in common with the first American album. They are I Love You Because, Blue Suede Shoes, Blue Moon, Tutti Frutti, and Money Honey. So the only two songs common to all three albums are Money Honey and Blue Suede Shoes. And let me show you the inner sleeve to this, because this is quite interesting. This is the inner sleeve that came with the record. It's got this little V-shaped cutaway at the top here, and I'll see if I can tilt this so you can see it. Right down here in the bottom corner, it has the Nipper logo and his master's voice. Maybe you can see it there. And on the other side, in the bottom corner there, it has the word patent in the bottom right corner, or patent if you're in America. So it's got these cutaways on both sides. I've never seen one of these before with any 10-inch LP. So what about these lyrics then? As you can see on the back cover there, it's got lyrics to all the songs, but there's something really weird going on with Tutti Frutti. It's got the usual wop bop a loo bop a lop bam boom, and that's it. And then it goes into some strange words which I've never heard before. Let me give you some of them, and see if you've ever heard these. If you've ever heard these lyrics before, let me know in the comment section below. And in fact, there are 3 verses of this. I'm not going to read all 3 verses. I'll read one, and I'll put the others in the comment section below. So if you want to read the rest of it, you can do. So there's nothing in here about Sue and Daisy, by the way. So after the wop bop a loo bop lop bam boom, it says, "Gotta go, can't stop, down to the candy shop. Gotta go, can't stop, and get me a cream pop. Don't want vanilla or strawberry too. Want the same kind of flavor when I'm kissing you. Tutti Frutti, oh Rudy." So that kind of fits the rhythm of the song. But I've never ever heard those lyrics or seen them written down anywhere. I did a Google search, couldn't find anything. I do know that the original lyrics were quite crude, and they were changed to, you know, Daisy and Sue, the lyrics that we all know and love. Another one that we have on here is, another strange one we have is Blue Moon. So Elvis sings just a few lines from Blue Moon, and then on the back cover here it's got, "And then there suddenly appeared before me the only one my arms will ever hold," etc., etc. So those lyrics I do know from other versions of Blue Moon. Elvis, of course, never sang them. Probably they got these lyrics from sheet music. So here is Blue Moon at the bottom in the middle, continuing down this side here. But these lyrics here to Tutti Frutti, I've got no idea where they came from. As I say, I'll put them down in the comment section below, and if you know, please let me know. Then in 1961, they reissued the album here with a completely new catalogue number, and they also changed the colours around. So Elvis is in green on the second version, and Presley is in more like a red colour than a pink colour. So the plastic cover has gone, and it's got the standard, for that time, laminated sleeve with the cutaways at the top there. And they've got some sleeve notes on here now, and they've also changed the lyrics a little bit. So the Blue Moon lyrics are now correct, just the few lines that Elvis sang, nothing about, and then suddenly someone stood there. And Tutti Frutti has just got 2 lines here, and it's still got the "gotta go, can't stop," which I just read to you a few minutes ago. The other 2 verses have gone. So the label design changed slightly. By this point, at this point, it's still called Elvis Presley Style. So in 1962, that's when the electronically reprocessed stereo albums came out, and that gave them in Japan a good excuse to revisit the collection. And what they did was they basically deleted all the original Japanese 50s albums and then reissued them in American sleeves if they didn't already have the American sleeve design. So that 10-inch LP there, that one disappeared, and it was replaced with this one here. This is the first 12-inch version of the first LP from 1962. Beautiful red obi here, and the mono copy also came with a red obi. I'll just show you the back cover using another copy that I have here. So it's quite similar to the second 10-inch one that we looked at. What's going on with the lyrics here? Blue Moon is okay. And okay, so Tutti Frutti, now they've got the right lyrics. Got a gal named Sue and got a gal named Daisy. So they finally got the lyrics right. And I changed the title of this album as well slightly. This one is now called Elvis Presley Stereo Album, Volume 2? Volume 2, yeah. So I did a full video on that series, the Presley Stereo Album and Presley Album series from about 1962. And so that's it. That's how, yeah, that's how not to end a video. But that is the end. That's it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, then please let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. Take care. Cheers.